Welcome to Gloria Velez podcast. I'm your host, Gloria Velez, and you're watching VladTV. My special guest today, a friend of mine who is a Grammy Award-winning 3 times singer, songwriter, actor, dancer, and record producer, Neo. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, love. How you been?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good to see you.
Same here. Welcome back to Miami.
Indeed.
One of his favorite places to be.
In the world, man. In the world. What's not to love?
Right, where he gets caught up. We're going to talk about that in a little while. But let's start off slow.
Okay. All right. Let's
Well, not even. This is a banger. Mm-hmm. Being a Grammy Award-winning songwriter is clear that you understand the art of writing. But how do you mentally prepare to write a song for a woman like Beyonce, Rihanna, and Mary J. Blige?
That's a good question. I like that question. I've been, people have asked me before, how is it that you get into the mind of a woman so well in order to write a song for a woman? Right. And I always answer the same way. I have no idea what's going on in the minds of women. I don't think anybody does. I think that's one of the beautiful things about women is their complexity. You know,
Amen.
The woman that you can easily figure out is not much of a challenge, therefore you probably won't spend too much time there.
Exactly.
I write from a standpoint of a person that is not afraid of emotion. You know, I grew up in a house full of women. My mother, my sister, my grandmother, 5 aunts, and then me, till I was like 16. So yeah, you learn a lot growing up in a household like that. You learn how to listen. You learn the true strength of a woman from the physical aspect on down. And you learn that emotions are not bad. Like that's one of the things that I'm happy that I was raised in that house, because a lot of times with men or with young boys growing up, you know, you're kind of forced to be this tough person all the time.
Right.
Like be tough, be good, stop being weak, stop being soft and all of that. And it's like my mom said, listen, if it makes you smile, smile. If it makes you cry, cry.
That's
and never be ashamed to be the one, because you're given these emotions for a reason. Like that you're supposed to use them for something.
That's right.
And what you're not supposed to do is let them use you. That's the thing.
Amen.
So I write from that place, and that place just seems to resonate a little bit more with women than it does men.
Yeah. I think because we're more in tune with our emotions, and we're okay, like you said, of revealing our emotions. Men tend to harbor, and it's not supposedly man enough or manly to express their emotions of sadness or, you know.
Anything other than anger or joy. Those are only 2 emotions that
you're
as a
allowed.
man, we're allowed. Anything other than that
society, right?
is weak or soft. Or it's like I regret that vulnerability has been so frowned upon as far as men as of late, because it's like, you know, cats is committing suicide and you know, in therapy because they just don't have an outlet. Like,
That's right.
You know, sometimes you need to be vulnerable.
I
Like
agree.
as a human being, you need, not just as a man, as a human being, you need that moment. And men don't tend to get that, especially lately. Not a lot.
I think it takes a strong man to be vulnerable.
I agree.
To express their emotions, you know, and you definitely do that in your songs, and I love it. Did you give Irreplaceable to Beyonce because you thought it would be an arrogant singing the song?
Irreplaceable went to Beyonce. So initially I wrote it to sing it myself. I did.
Right.
But I realized in the lyrics of this record that, well, first and foremost, a good 90% of my fan base was female. And if I were to say to my female fan base, I can have another you in a minute. Matter of fact, she'll be here in a minute. I don't think that was something
You
they
don't
wanted
think
to
they
hear.
want that?
Maybe not for me.
ladies.
Maybe not. But what I learned, so the power of a lyric, it's not so much the message as it is the messenger. Like the messenger is also very important.
Yes.
See, a man saying that comes across mean,
Right.
misogynistic. A woman saying that comes across empowering. I was like, that's right, girl. We ain't gonna take it no
Right.
more.
That
But
is
stand
true.
up for yourself. It becomes
But
that.
sad though.
I mean,
Men should say that. I got boys, you know. He should say that too. You're replaceable.
you should definitely be able to say that.
Right.
But you know the way society has things drawn up, it's
is
almost
true.
like if a woman disrespects a man is supposed to just take it on the chin. Whereas if a man disrespects a woman, the world is in an uproar.
Right.
And it's like I'm one of the people that doesn't so much believe in equality, just in the realm of I feel like as men and women we kind of have our places. You know what I mean?
Right,
Not saying that, a woman's place is in the kitchen or anything like that, but I feel like when it comes to manual labor and defense and things of that nature, I just
man
feel
be a
like those
man.
things are more geared
Yes.
towards, a man. And I'm not saying that women can't do it.
Right.
I'm just saying that I feel like
Let a man
in
be a
the realm
man.
of it.
Yes.
Yeah, let us be men. Let us protect you. Not
Yes.
saying that you need our protection all the time, but when you
But
need
the
it,
crazy thing is that you have to say that.
yeah.
I know, to cover yourself, because
the
so
whole
many
politically correct
Yes.
thing. Yeah, the
But
world is so
we need a
sensitive
man
right
to be a man, ladies, and we have to play our position, because a man has their position and we have ours. And I think that's where we lose it. And then we got these men want to be women and try to take our place.
Exactly.
You know?
And now everybody's confused. Men want to be women,
Right.
women want to be men. Nobody knows what to. And mind you, and again, just because we have to make sure that we don't offend anyone,
Right.
I have no issue with the LBGT. I have no problem with with nobody. Okay,
Right.
love who you love, do what you do.
Exactly.
I just personally come from an era where a man was a man and a woman was a woman, and it wasn't but two genders, and that's just how I rocked.
Me
now,
too.
You could identify as a goldfish if you feel like.
Right.
I don't care.
agree.
That ain't my business. It becomes my business when you try to make me play the game with you. I'm not finna call you a
Right.
goldfish, but
Exactly.
you want to be a goldfish, you go be a goldfish. It's all good.
Amen.
I mean,
Well said.
it's just, we live in a weird time, man. We do. We live
do.
in a time where a person will have a mental breakdown in front of their camera.
Right.
Wait, let me white balance. No, it's right.
That's crazy, right?
What the hell is that? Like, if you are of sound mind enough to find the light
Right.
and
Exactly.
then break down,
Exactly.
ain't nothing wrong with you. Cut
Right.
that- man.
No, there is something wrong with
Whatever,
you.
there's something wrong with you.
Right.
There ain't nothing wrong with you. Like, man.
Right,
it's just,
right.
I don't
You're
know.
you're adding to it. It's all how we deal with life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And a lot of people want pity, self-pity.
I
And
listen,
I don't like that.
that was one thing that was not allowed in the house that I grew up in. It's like, okay, get your cry out,
Right.
give that its moment. But once it's done, keep moving.
That's right.
We're not gonna sit and dwell in sorrow. We're not gonna
No.
sit and dwell in anger. We're gonna give those emotions the moment that they deserve. We're gonna respect those emotions. But then we're gonna get up and continue moving, because it's not about the fall. You can fall 1,000,000 times. You get up 1,000,001. That's the way I was raised.
Me too.
Yeah, like, all right, that hurt. Go ahead, cry.
Now they pamper, oh my God. And
trigger
let's go to the
warnings.
house.
What the
Right.
hell is a trigger warning?
Yes, exactly.
It's just when I
It
just
is
don't know
weird
when
times.
the world became so sensitive. Like comedians can't tell jokes no more.
No.
Like, everybody's offended. It's a joke. It's
Right.
a comedian.
Right.
It's a joke. You're not supposed to take it serious. It's a joke.
Right.
His literal job is to joke. And you
About everyone.
About everyone
Right.
and everything. And people want to get offended and like, don't say that. That's triggering. Oh my God. You know what?
Yeah,
Sit in your house by yourself.
exactly.
It annoys me. It annoys
I mean,
me.
anything can trigger you. A light can trigger you. A smell can trigger you. So, I mean, we got to walk on eggshells. Well, that's what
Listen,
they want us to.
That's what they want us to do.
But
My generation,
I'll be
there were no
damned.
trigger warnings. Okay, you got up and you kept moving. That's
Right.
kind of what it has to
We
be.
was kicked outside. We would come inside before the lights go down.
Exactly
If
that.
we got bumps and bruises, we just washed it off with the hose outside.
Yeah, you was good. Come on, man.
It's totally different
We
times.
need to get back to them days. I feel like I feel like parents have almost forgotten what the role of a parent is.
Amen.
It's like, okay,
Lost control.
if your little boy comes to you and says, "Daddy, I want to be a girl," and you just let him rock with that,
Right,
he's 5.
right. And where did he get that
If
from?
you let this 5-year-old boy decide to eat candy all day, he's gonna do that.
Exactly.
Like, when did it become a good idea to let a 5-year-old, let a 6-year-old, let a 12-year-old make a life-changing decision for themselves?
Right.
When did that happen?
Right.
Like, I don't understand that. I don't get that.
And to medicate these young kids that are 5, 6, growing up and knowing that it affects their brain, it affects their organs, it makes them sick, but they're not allowed to do drugs, they're not allowed to do alcohol.
Right.
But we can medicate
He
them
can't
up.
drive a car yet, but he can decide his sex.
Right, right. What sexual orientation, and he can cut off his pee-pee, and that, to me, that makes no sense
And
whatsoever.
I don't know if this is true, but I heard a rumor that they either passed or are trying to pass a law in LA that states if your child comes to you and asks to do some of these things and you say no, they could take your kid for you.
Yeah, that's true. Just passed in California.
That makes no sense.
They want us to have no control over our children.
I don't get it.
in schools,
I don't get it.
hospitals, libraries.
Yeah.
They just want to manipulate. You got to understand when they're so young and they're already, that's
Impressionable.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And from them, they're going to believe what you say. I mean, we say Santa Claus is real, the
And they
Easter Bunny.
believe it. Like,
right,
come on.
exactly.
Like, you gotta
they know what they're doing.
remember who you're dealing with. Like I can't take credit for it, but I heard somebody say one time, he's like, all right, if your son comes to you and says, Daddy, I want to be a girl, ask your son, what is a girl?
That's a good one.
What is he gonna do? He's gonna say, well, he might want to play with dolls. All right, you want to play with dolls? Fine, play with dolls.
Right.
But you're a boy playing with dolls.
That's
I want to
right.
wear pink. All right, cool, wear pink. But you're a boy
That's right.
wearing pink.
I was a tomboy. I still love boy sneakers and I love my baseball cap. Doesn't mean I want to be a man.
Right.
I just like
style preference is
That's
one thing.
right.
Gender selection is
But
a
I like
whole
playing
other
sports too. Doesn't mean that I should become a boy.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So yeah, I'm glad we touched
Real
on
world
that.
we
We totally
live in.
went off topic, but I love
Yeah,
it.
I will ramble.
I
so
love
you
it.
just-
No, I love
give me
it.
the
I love
wrap-up
it.
Sign. I'll keep going.
Is it true that Lil Wayne featuring Babyface, Comfortable, is a response record from a male perspective?
I heard that just recently.
Yeah.
And mind you, I've heard that song a dozen times and I never looked
And
at it that
Beyonce
way.
actually responded to it. She said she loved it.
I-
I saw it online.
No,
I did my
I love
homework.
the record. I just didn't know that that's what it was. I know that he used it to the left. If you want to step, be my guest, you can step or whatever. Like I knew that he used that, but I didn't know that the song was supposed to be a response.
Yeah.
So
How
like
do
now
you
I'm
feel
listening to
about
it again,
that?
like, oh wow, okay. No, I think it's dope.
Yeah.
I think it's dope. I think that I mean Wayne is one of my favorite rappers of all
Me
time.
too,
Period.
me
Point
too.
blank. And then Babyface, there's nothing bad that you could ever say about Babyface. I don't give a damn
Incredible.
who you are. So the song itself is it's a masterpiece just within the realm of who's on the record. And now listening to it with that knowledge, it just makes me like the record that much more.
Me
So,
too.
Shout out to Wayne. Shout out to
Yes.
Babyface. Yeah.
And I just figured that out. Like I
Yeah,
was like, oh
just
my
recently,
God, me
like,
too.
wait, play that. Holy shit, it is. Yeah, it's dope. I
So
like
dope. Is it more challenging writing for the opposite sex?
it. Nowadays, it's more challenging writing for men. Again, because how we just
That's right.
touched on the fact
Yeah.
that vulnerability is almost taboo nowadays.
Right.
And I come from the era where it was okay for a man to beg,
That's
baby,
right.
please.
That's
I come from that
right.
era.
Me
you
too,
know,
me too.
In the rain, in the middle of the street. you know,
Everything was baby,
That
though.
was and it was okay. Like
Right.
it was preferred.
Now
And
it's like brown
gotta-
booty hole and what is going
Man, listen,
what is going on
much
with that?
love to Sexy Red Wing. That's not a diss at all. However, yeah,
I mean,
the music.
are you down with that too? I don't know. I have that.
I feel like the music all the way around has gotten just harder.
Yeah.
Like who it was.
There's no love.
It was Shannon Sharp that asked me like, "What's happened to R&B?" And I'm like, I don't believe that R&B is dead.
Right.
I just feel like, okay, when I was coming up, I had Jodeci, Boyz II Men, Brian McKnight. I can go even further back than that. I had cats that kind of groomed me in the realm of what it was to be vulnerable, what it was to
Love a woman.
love a woman genuinely.
Yeah,
right?
I had a court a woman.
So now we got, cats coming up today, and I put it this way. When all music got its hip hop makeover, because all music did, there's hip hop country records now, right?
Yes.
So when every genre of music got its hip hop makeover, and now we got these cats looking at the rappers and what it is they're doing
That's right.
and looking up to them and being groomed by that.
That's right.
So there is no vulnerability there.
No. It's
hip hop
hard.
is almost the opposite of vulnerability.
It is.
So it's
There's
like,
no
all right,
balance though.
I want to sing, but I can't come off soft. So
That's right.
I'm gonna say, bitch, I fuck with you. What? Wait, what? Wait,
That's not you
wait.
at all though. That's not you at all.
Nah, I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm glad. Don't do it.
I've made attempts, but these attempts have lived and died in the studio. It's like,
Good.
nah, bro, this ain't me. Let's go somewhere else.
No, I just think that I can't say an age that it's generation, because even our generations are into that music and that type of lifestyle. I just think that they lost the respect of each other, the relationship. They lost the love. They lost the connection. Women now are like, I can do without a man. I don't need a man. And the men are saying the same thing about the woman.
Yeah.
So we are in need of each other.
I think that my song Miss Independent might have sent
The
a
wrong
slightly wrong
message.
message. When I said the concept of wanting a man but not needing a man, I wasn't talking about just in general not needing a man. Listen, the bottom line of just this life period is that we all need each other, okay? There is no version of this where you're supposed to just be by your damn self. That's not how it works. Now, that's not to say that you have to put all your eggs in every basket that you come across. You meet this man, he's nice to you, and now you want to get married. Slow down.
Right.
Slow down. Let him earn that. Let him prove himself, you know? And same thing with her. Let her earn. If you're a high quality man, high value man, let her earn you too. Yeah. But to be this thing that says, all right, all I want is hookups. I'm gonna hook up over here, 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 and I'm gonna just keep moving like that. Eventually, you're gonna burn yourself out.
That's right.
You know, and I don't think people are paying attention to that fact. It's like sex is genuinely an energy transaction.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So the more people that you lay with, the more of your energy you've given away.
That's right.
And kind of linking yourself to a person that you don't plan on ever seeing again.
Or that energy rubs off on you as well.
Yeah.
You're bringing that negativity or her karma or anything. And why would you want to let them in your spirit that way?
Very real, very real. Now, mind you, I will not sit here and act holier than thou. Like,
word.
I ain't had fair share of hookups in my time, of course.
Right.
But I also understand the concept of a quality relationship and the importance of a quality relationship. Okay, just because I understand it doesn't mean I'm going to do it right every time.
Right.
I made my mistakes.
I'm glad you're honest. Right.
Hey, I own them. I'm human. Okay?
Me too.
The essence of human is to err and learn. And that's what I'm doing.
What was it like working with Whitney Houston? I love her, and I never got to meet her.
So I got the opportunity to sit with Whitney Houston. First and foremost, we never made it to an actual recording studio. We never did. We went to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle.
Get out.
And we sat in a booth, me, her, and her sister. And we just sat and talked about music, talked about, where she was at in life. She was like, I got my man, I got my kids, and I got my God, and I'm happy. And that's what I want my music to reflect. And so I started working on some stuff for her. And very, very similar to the Michael Jackson situation, we never got the opportunity to cut before, her untimely passing. We just never got the opportunity to cut it.
Oh.
Yeah. But just to sit with her and have her tell me how much she enjoyed my music, and I'm like, are you joking?
Right, exactly.
I might not even be here if not for what you've done. But just to sit and have just kind of a general conversation with somebody that you have that much respect for. Like that was
everything.
That was everything for me.
Yeah.
I wish we could have got to record some of that
music.
Me too. But, everything happens for a reason.
So your name was coined by Big D Evans?
Yes.
How's your start working with Evans?
So Dion Evans is known for, he did a lot of Pac's early stuff. He did Brenda's Got a Baby. He did Changes. He did a few records for Pac. And I met him through a mutual friend. This is when I was still kind of just moving around through the circuit writing, getting in studios wherever I could get in at.
Right.
And back then I used to pride myself on how fast I could write a song. Like literally, give me an hour in the studio, I'll give you 10 records.
That's so impressive.
Now, mind you, notice I said 10 records. I didn't say 10 hits. I said 10 records. Of the 10, we might be able to rock with 2, but he gave us 10.
Exactly.
So I've learned now that the quality over quantity. But in that time, he had never seen anything like. He's like, bro, you just crank them out. You're like the Neo of the music industry. And mind you, it came a reference from the movie The Matrix, how, Neo in The Matrix could do things within The Matrix that regular people couldn't do.
That's right.
So he was saying that I could do things within music that regular people couldn't do. I hated that name.
Really?
Because I felt like, okay, if you remember the movie The Matrix, Neo was like Jesus. He was like,
right, the chosen one. Right.
I ain't so much trying to save the world. I just want to write a song or two. It was a very big shoes to fill. But like any nickname, one person call you it, then another person. And whether you like it or not, that's your name now.
Right. It grew on you. But now do you love it?
Oh yeah, it is.
It grew on you.
It's who I am now. Oddly enough, really like nobody in my immediate group calls me Neo. Like it's only like really fans and people that I don't know that call me Neo. But it's all cool. I don't mind.
Is it true you regretted giving Let Me Love You to Mario?
Not regretted. Shout out to the boy Mario, by the way.
Yes.
Not regretted. So when we first did that song, myself, Scott Storch, And oh man, the third writer. There's another writer on that song whose name I can never remember, and I feel like an asshole every time I tell this story. Shout out to I'm gonna find his name for you so we can give him his proper flowers. But when we finished the record, mind you, I had met Mario. I didn't know him. All I knew was the Just a Friend record and the Braid My Hair record, and I'm like, okay, this cat is like what, 15, 16?
He was a baby, yeah.
And we finished the record. I'm like, yo, this is a really mature feeling record. Like, this record feels like somebody that knows something about love. Like, is he gonna be able to pull this off? That's the question I was asking.
Right.
Mind you, hadn't met him yet. So I think the following day he actually came into the studio and, we sat and just chopped it up just on some, just brother to brother. And I realized like this dude is like Sam Cooke reincarnated. Like,
yeah.
Like way more mature in here than out here. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay. So he got in the studio and knocked that song out in an hour. It took him an hour, start to finish. I'm like, yo, I had to apologize to him.
Really?
He was like, for what? I'm like, bro, I gotta tell you, before you got here, I counted you out. I did. I ain't feel like you was gonna be able to pull the song off. I apologize. He's like, oh man, it's all good. And we've been cool ever since. I saw him last night, matter of fact. Yeah.
When Neo came by, we did a few records, but that record, we knew it was special because of the feedback we got when people would come to the studio and play it. But what happened was the engineer actually erased the whole song by mistake. He lost all the files.
Okay.
He lost all the files to the record, and we ended up having to record the whole thing over. And it ended up being more special, in my opinion, the second time because I had already learned the record. I was familiar with it, and I just sang it straight through the whole way.
Do you enjoy performing that song?
I love performing that song. That is like a sing-along moment in my set. Like, everybody in the crowd is gonna sing that song. And I love that. I love that.
What was it like working with Scott Storch?
Love Scott. Love Scott Storch. Scott is a guy that, has been through some things.
Yeah,
I'll say has survived some things.
Survived the industry, let's just say that.
Yeah, which is rare.
Yeah.
We both know.
And a comeback.
You see cats come and go. You rarely see them come back around.
That's
you know
right.
What I'm saying?
That's
So
right.
shout out to Scott for being a survivor of just this game and what this game is. But he's always been just kind of a savant to me. You know what I mean? Like he'll sit and do his little weird Scott Storch bounces.
He does.
And then get on them keys and do something amazing. Like that's always been Scott. He never really had like a huge ego. At least he didn't show me that.
Same here.
You know what I
Same
mean? Like
here,
always been a real humble dude. Just, he liked what he liked. I remember one thing I remembered about Scott, and this was before I started smoking. Scott used to roll these joints that they look like baseball bats, but they would like bend, like it had an elbow in it. Like the joint would go out and up. I'm like, how do you even do that? And I don't know, it just happens. But like he would have trash bags of weed just around him at all times. I'm like, bro, you gonna smoke all? Yeah, me and my people, this bag will be gone by the night.
And he'll never get high.
I don't
grasp that.
never been
I would get high
high.
off
Like,
the contact.
like just alert and talking to you.
And I feel like he got more talented as time goes on. I'm like, what are you doing?
Meanwhile, he done smoked 7 of these baseball bats.
Yeah.
And nothing, like just no effect. I'm like, bruh, you a different breed.
Yeah, he is.
Different
He's
breed.
Impressive.
But yeah, man, that's my guy. To this day, that's my guy. Shout out to Scott Storch.
Amen. Okay, after the success of Let Me Love You, Def Jam called you for a meeting with CEO L.A. Reid. How did that meeting with L.A. go?
So let me slightly correct you.
Okay.
We did Let Me Love You for Mario. It came out, became a hit, at radio for 12 weeks. But at that time, I was still kind of just, I decided that I wanted to be an artist at that point.
Okay.
And, we had taken a few meetings here and there, but wasn't really panning out. Like,
Right.
it was all the comparisons and all of the, all of that stuff that as humans, we got to compartmentalize everything. It's like, all right, we got to compare this to this because
They
it's
wanted
similar
you to
and
be
all of
something
that.
that you wasn't.
Whatever. So the Def Jam meeting actually wasn't even about signing me initially.
Really?
We had been moving around in New York like that whole day, just bouncing from label to label, just trying to shop songs as a songwriter, not as an artist.
Okay.
So it was the end of the day. My producer friend, his name is Sauce. We're walking past the Def Jam and he's like, yo, hold on, I want to stop in here because a friend of mine from high school works here and I haven't seen her since high school. I'm like, all right, it's the end of the day. We're going to go in here, say what's up, and then we're going to go get something to eat. Cool. So we go up. What I didn't know is that his friend from high school was Tina Davis, who at the time was the president of A&R for Def Jam Records. Right? Now, mind you, I didn't know this when I saw her. I just saw, a pretty black lady. I'm like, all right, today, it's so good to see you.
Right.
Girl, you lost weight, all of that, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm sitting in the corner waiting because we're going to go get some food after this. So she goes, what have you been up to? And he's like, oh, well, I'm doing this, doing that, working with this writer. His cat's name is Neo, he's a songwriter. And she's like, oh, well, play me some music. So he starts playing her some of the songs that we was, shopping around to people. She's listening to the music, straight face, totally blank. She looks at me and goes, this you? Mm-hmm. You wrote these? Mm-hmm. And that's you singing? Mm-hmm. Can you dance? Yeah, a little bit. Oh, okay. Go for it. Excuse me? Go for it. I didn't come here for this. So you're not going to dance? So I got up.
Yeah, right.
I got it like, you finna challenge me. So I got up.
Exactly.
I'm singing along to the song. I'm singing directly to her. I'm looking her in her face. Again, deadpan, nothing. Just no response whatsoever. I'm like, this is not going well.
Right.
Okay. So I finished my song. She's like, hold on a second. Yeah, LA's office. Mr. Reed, hey, are you busy right now? Yeah, I think I got somebody you should meet. Yep, 10 minutes. LA Reed wants to meet you. LA Reed. Yes, LA Reed. I look at Sauce, look at me like, yeah, all right, let's go. So we go upstairs to LA's office. I don't know if my mind created this or if this was real, but I remember walking into his office and it was just long.
Right.
It felt like his office was in a hallway or some shit. Like this long table, and he got like his tastemakers, his people sitting at the table. He's sitting at the edge, at the far end of the table, and he's like, "So you're the next big thing, huh?" And I'm like, I'm just trying to get something to eat when we leave here. I don't know. So he starts playing the music. And he's like, would you mind performing for my people? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I'm performing the songs, singing to the girls, sitting at the tables, it's one or two girls. And again, just these deadpan faces. Like nobody's giving me any emotion at all. And I'm like, all right, this can't be going well.
Right.
They're not smiling, they like nothing. They mannequins.
Nerve-wracking.
Nothing. All right, so I finished. I did like 2 songs, I finished. LA goes, all right, thank you very much. Would you step out of the room right quick? Let me talk to my people. I'm like, all right, cool. So we sat outside LA's office for like an hour, like just sitting there. Like his assistant or secretary, whoever she was so nice. Like just kept giving us water and everything. Just be patient. You'll be out in a minute. All right, cool. So about an hour and a half goes by at this point, and I'm like, yo,
I'm hungry, right?
Like, let's just. So we get up to leave. As we're leaving, the lady ducks her head out the office and says, hey, LA Reed wants to know your lawyer's information. He wants to give you a deal. I don't have a lawyer. We'll work it out.
Right.
Basically.
But you got a lawyer, though.
Yeah. So basically, I got a record deal kind of by accident. Because
That's
again, we didn't go in there
destiny.
for that. Like it just happened. Yeah. It was meant to be.
I love stories like that. That's
Yeah,
amazing. Man. What was it like meeting Jay-Z for the first time?
Oh, God.
I need to know this story.
Yeah. So shortly after that meeting, went home, flew us back out to New York to meet, all of his people or whatever.
Right.
So Jay-Z walks into the room. At this time, Jay-Z had just gotten the president of Def Jam. He'd just gotten that position. So he walks in the room. I'm like, hello, Mr. Jay-Z. My name is Neo. He was like, man, why you get a damn song away? Nice to meet you too, sir. Yeah. I'm assuming you're talking about the Mario song. Yeah, why you get a damn song away? Well, and I explained to him at the time I wasn't an artist. I was just a writer, and I just wrote the record. But his first words to me was, why you get a damn song away? Hell wrong with you? Okay, I'm gonna get some water. Damn. Man.
Right, exactly.
Just jump right in. But he was honestly, and I learned this later on, of the potentially 10 people that was kind of working with LA in that time period, only 4 of them really even believed that I would do anything.
Really?
Yeah. I learned that later on. It was like LA believed, Jay believed, Jay Brown believed, I think Tata, those were like the four that was like, nah, we see it. Everybody else was like, pass, 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 pass. Like, so had they not went to bat for me, I probably wouldn't even be here.
You would be somewhere else.
I mean,
yeah, because you were
it happened the way it happened.
Right, exactly. You were supposed to be there. Yeah.
I was the underdog in the building for a minute, and then things started happening, and suddenly everybody just knew. Oh, we knew it the whole time. We knew we were gonna be.
Of course.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you was trying to get me out of here.
Miss Independent single. Did
Yes.
Webby and Boozy Independent play a role in you making this song?
No. It played a role in me learning how to spell independent. Definitely did.
Right.
I
Me
sometimes
too.
still go back. Wait. INDE. Yes. I'm spelling it right.
Right.
But no, the song itself.
Because that was a hit as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely
In the
so.
South, at least.
I've never been asked the question before.
Really?
Yeah, that's the first time anybody asked me that. No, I wrote that song about, everyone assumed that I was writing a song about either somebody that I was dating or maybe the kind of women that I like. And mind you, I did write about the kind of women that I like, but that came from where I grew up. Like, I grew up in a house full of women that were not waiting to be rescued. They was not waiting to, the tire needed to be changed. They out there changing the tire. They taking the trash out. They crushing spiders and opening pickle jars or whatever the hell it was. They was doing it. And like, not on some, woe is me, I got to do this myself. It's like, hey, if we don't do it, it ain't going to get done, so let's just get it done.
That's right.
And like, I just grew up just having an appreciation for the woman that, again, wanted me but didn't necessarily need me. It's like, my life is going to continue. I want you here, but if you leave, the sun is still going to come up tomorrow.
That's right.
I've always had a thing for that girl. You know what I mean?
good.
Like, I don't want to be your whole life. I don't want to be your everything, because if I'm your everything, that means that you're nothing without me.
Right.
And if you're nothing without me, you're nothing with me. You know what I mean?
We're supposed to add to each other.
Yes, we are supposed to be accessory to each other's already existing happiness, already existing purpose. And let me accessorize what you already got going on.
And good use of each other.
Exactly.
Because some people misuse each other.
Oh yeah. I've been in that situation where, like, once I lock in, and I lock in and I make life very comfortable for this person that I've locked in on. And it's almost a gift and a curse, because you make life so comfortable that suddenly they depend on you for everything, including their happiness. It's like, you can't even be happy if I'm not around.
Right.
Like, that's not good.
No.
That's not a good thing.
Not at
Your
all.
happiness ain't even supposed to come from me.
No.
That's supposed to be something that's
Within.
in you.
That's right.
And you let me magnify it, but it's supposed to be there already. You know what I
right.
mean? And that's
Yeah.
it's always been a weird thing.
In 2007, you confirmed that he had been contacted by producer will.i.am to work on what had been Michael Jackson's new album.
Yeah.
Why at the time did Michael Jackson's death, your collaboration with him, had yet to move past the writing stage?
So another great meeting. So initially, it wasn't will.i.am that called me first. It was Mike that called me first.
Really?
Michael Jackson
he called your phone?
Called my phone. Don't know how I got the number. To this day, I never asked how I got the number.
Really?
I was actually en route to rehearsal in California. And my phone rings. It's a number I don't recognize. And I normally don't even pick those up. Something was like, let me pick it up. Hello? Hey, who is this? It's Michael. Michael who?
Right.
Michael Jackson.
No way.
I hung up on Michael Jackson because I did not know that it was. I'm like, come on, Michael Jackson ain't calling my phone.
Right.
Somebody playing.
Right.
So literally 5 minutes later, I get a call from my personal assistant. He's like, yo, are you sitting down? Like, I'm in the car. What's going on? He's like, yo, Michael Jackson is about to call your phone. I'm like, about to call my phone?
Right. You're a little late.
You 5 minutes later, I just hung up on Michael Jackson. Oh. So he called back.
Okay.
And I instantly lied. I was like, yeah, I was driving through a tunnel.
Right.
Called,
Back
dropped.
connection.
What's going on, man? I'll call you. So we met up at Leor Cohen's house in New York. I came into the crib first, and I'm sitting waiting on him to walk in. And I'm sitting there like, okay, this man is literally one of the reasons that I sing. Like I had to learn to appreciate my voice through his voice, through Stevie Wonder's voice, through people that had a similar timbre to mine. Like, my tone has always been kind of high and nasally. And like my mom gave me Michael Jackson's Off the Wall. and Stevie Wonder's Hotter Than July, Songs in the Key of Life, to practice and study so that I would get more comfortable with my own voice. Because my mom used to listen to like the OJs and the Teddy Pendergrass and the big, heavy, thick voiced, turn them off. Like
right.
And I didn't have that. I had to turn them off. So I hated my voice because I wanted to sound like what my mom listened to.
Right.
My mom has been my hero my whole life. So I wanted to sound like what she liked to hear.
That's beautiful.
And I didn't sound like that. And she's like, here, listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to how they use their instrument and make you more comfortable with your own. So I'm sitting in this room, sweating bullets, because I'm like, Michael Jackson's about to walk in this room. And sure enough, he walked in. He was a lot taller than I knew. Michael's like 6'3".
Really?
He was a tall dude.
I never met him. I didn't know
Michael's
that.
tall. So he walked in, or maybe I just made him larger than life in my brain. I don't know. I feel like he was 6'3".
Right.
I remember looking up, like just with this awe on my face.
Were you sitting?
I was sitting down.
Okay.
He walked in. He had on a black suit. He had the brace on, like.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the gloves.
Nah, it was like a brace, like a full arm brace. Okay. Like he had hurt his thumb or something. It was just like a brace.
Okay.
And these aviator mirrored sunglasses, so he couldn't see his eyes. Right. Kept him on the whole time, by the way. Never took him off. So he walks in, and his first words was, "Oh my God, do you know what my favorite song of yours is?" And in that moment, time stopped, and I'm like, favorite song of mine? You are Michael damn Jackson. I would not be me if not for you. Favorite song of mine. But I didn't say that out loud. This happened in my head. Out loud, I'm like, oh, what song? And he went, please don't worry about me, I'm fine. And I lost it. In my brain, in my head, I lost it. I had to maintain my composure in front of the man, but
I mean, did you smile? Were you giddy?
I smiled real big, to the point where I tried to stop smiling and I couldn't. Like the smile wouldn't go away.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, that's dope. This dude is singing my song right now.
That's so
I got to sing my song right now. It was one of those moments.
Right.
So we sat and talked about just music for like a long time. He was so for me, different sounds have different colors and shapes. Like if I close my eyes and listen to something, I can see a shape or I can see a color depending on what the sound is. And he told me that he's the same way. And that was a moment for me, like, okay, so I'm not crazy or we both crazy. But just knowing that we kind of view music the same, like that was a moment for me. So then he started talking about what he wanted the music to be about, when he wanted to get started. So for the next couple weeks, we were like back and forth on the phone. Like I would write a song, send it to him, and he would call me and critique it. Like, I really like the first verse. I feel like the second verse can be stronger. I think if you took the hook and took the second part and did that first and then the other, like, just basically tinkering and like good 6 songs that we did this with, right? And then he passed. We never got to record them.
Oh,
never got to record them. I recorded them. They recorded in my voice.
Right.
And they just
have you ever released them or no?
Nope. Because I've always felt like, how do I release that? Because first of all, I would never want anybody to fix their face to say that I was trying to like bank or benefit off of his demise, So it felt weird for me to put the songs out myself. And then it's like I did these with Mike for Mike. So like I can't sell them to somebody else. Like that's not right. So they just been sitting to this day. They're just sitting in the archive waiting for me to figure out what I'm gonna do with them.
Wow, I think you should sing them. I really do.
It just feels
with you.
It feels weird. Like something about it doesn't feel right, and I don't know what that is. It's like because they were meant for him, and because he's meant so much to my career, it don't feel right.
Right.
It don't feel right.
Yeah, you gotta listen to your spirit. Yeah. Instead of acknowledging that you are in need of each other in relationships, what do you think some women feel like when they don't need a man?
What do I think some women feel like when they don't need a man? I can imagine, because again, I have no idea what goes on in the minds of women.
But you write great songs about us.
I write songs about emotion and not fearing emotion. I can imagine that a woman who says that she doesn't need a man has probably been burned a couple times. You know what I'm saying? She's put her trust in a man. She's put love into a man and didn't get that back. Right. And she's decided as a means of healing and protecting. Now she's like, all right, I'm gonna lock myself into my work. you know,
Right.
or I'm gonna lock myself into my kids or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna lock myself into anything that does not make me have to need this guy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's
I think now women are taking the role of a man, meaning they don't want to be vulnerable anymore.
right, because vulnerability
For them now means weakness.
exactly.
But it
means
is
weakness.
strength.
It means being taken advantage of.
Right.
You know, and I understand that. I understand where that comes from because nowadays, I mean, like, you know, men are hustlers, but women are hustlers.
Yeah, they done caught up.
Better, they do it better than men.
Yeah.
They do it better than men. A woman will have you believing that
love
she
you.
love that you love she love you. She love your
Right.
dirty
It's
drawers.
all about you.
And meanwhile,
And you got boys, so you got to teach
Oh.
them because these girls out here
yes,
are
indeed. Let me
trifling.
tell you something, bro. It ain't like when I was coming up.
No.
They would get you.
Hell
They would
yeah.
get you.
One got my son. And, you know, he had to learn the hard way. These Miamians.
Yeah. Crying in his room. Like,
Right. With the BBLs, please be aware. No, I'm serious, you know?
oh, man, no, it's bad out there.
Do you
It's
still
bad.
believe in love?
Of course.
That's good.
Love is not a word. Love is not an action. Love is it's an energy source, and we need it to survive. Like I don't think people
Amen.
realize that it's not something that you can do without for too long before your body starts to let you know, hey, bro, you need to re-up.
That's so true.
Like it's a thing. It's needed.
It is.
I mean, it may not be the most popular subject matter right this second, but the reason that I've always resorted back to love songs is because I feel like everybody has felt the black, white, or gray of love in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Like it's the one emotion that we can all kind of lock into, be it the good side of love, the bad side of love, the indifferent side of love. It's all love at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And
I think the most important is self-love. I think people don't know how to love themselves.
I think that's the biggest part.
Yeah.
Because you can't properly love another person if you don't love yourself.
That's
like
right.
you can't fill up a vessel if you're empty. Like that doesn't work. And again, I think it's something that a lot of people don't realize.
No, they
Is
don't.
that you know, the people that are still searching for that special someone, that relationship, you might be going about it the wrong way. You're looking for somebody to complete you when you're supposed to be complete already.
Yeah.
And then find somebody to magnify what you are or to access to be a match to what you are, not your other half. It's not about finding another half.
Right.
You're a whole individual.
Amen.
You are happy and complete within yourself. And as this complete being, you find another complete being and y'all rock out together. That's how it's supposed to happen. And it's sad. It's sad that people don't realize the importance of that anymore. You know, I've always tried to, especially as of late, I've tried to be the change I want to see, just in a realm of, you know, the kind of music that I'm creating right now. I'm in the process of putting together another album right now. That's part of the reason that I'm out here. So, you know, I sit with different music people all the time and talk about just what's on the radio and how, you know, how vulnerability is not in R&B anymore and all those things. So I'm literally sitting in the studio trying to not so much recreate moments from the past, but pull some of the best elements of what was
and it's needed
into
now.
what's today.
It's needed.
It's so needed. It's so needed. And everybody says the same thing.
And
Everybody
you have great
complains.
influence because now everything sounds repetitive. You know, you are needed.
I'm trying.
No, you are. You're doing it. You're not even trying.
But see, so the problem is this. We just touched on this before we started. Fame versus money.
Yeah.
Popularity versus substance.
Right.
Like that's kind of what's going on right now. It's like you got a lot of artists that are popular and they're doing something that's popular, but there's no real substance to it. Like it's
Exactly.
not. It's fast food. It works for the moment.
Yeah.
You know.
But a lot of them are
but
just empty
ultimately,
words.
It's not good for you. It's
Right.
not doing anything for you.
It's not, to me, your music. It's, you get goosebumps. Certain songs I remember where I was at or, you know, what city I was in, if it was cold, if it was hot. This music now, I couldn't tell you what was the first verse, the second verse, and the meaning behind it.
Yeah.
The beat is okay, but that's about it. You know, other than that, there's no substance. I don't get no feeling. You know, music's supposed to make us feel.
Exactly.
Either sad, happy,
that's
angry,
what
want to
it's-
fight, whatever the case may be.
Whatever it is, it's frequencies. And those
Yes,
frequencies are supposed to do
frequencies.
something in your mind, in your heart, in your body. And
This music is like zombie
it has
music.
a frequency, but
It's-
it's a very low
Yes.
frequency. And like all you can really do is some drugs.
Right, they're zoned out. Right,
drink
exactly.
Until you fall into this, like the word vibe has been just murdered. Like, it's a vibe. No. Vibe is
Everything's
what
not
you
a vibe.
say when the song has no, it's just
over.
this. It's just
Yeah, and
verses.
how do you feel about people not rapping or singing on beat either? That drives me
Oh.
crazy. I'm like, how can they hear he's not on beat or she's not rapping right or it's just she's off? I'm like, how are they listening to this? That I
it's
know that
like-
triggers you
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
because it triggers
With the
me.
triggers.
And you're a perfectionist.
I'm a maybe not so much a perfectionist as I just want it to be right. man.
Right.
And there's a line like the tempo
Yes.
of the beat is there for a reason, and you're kind of
And you're a dancer too. So yeah, when you dance on the beat and they're off rapping, you're like, what the? Or singing like,
What part of the
Tone
beat
deaf?
are you rapping to right now? I'm confused. I don't know. And then it's like, okay, you're in the studios with these engineers and these producers, and they know what the hell they doing. So it's like, why would you not
Right.
just take that and nudge it over and put it on
Right.
beat? You just gonna leave it like that? You was probably high in the studio. That's probably
Right.
what happened. They was high. And you just said, it's good like that.
yeah, I'd be mind boggled. My son, thank God, now he's really listening to music the older he gets. But he was brainwashed when he was a teenager. I'm like, what are you listening to?
Yeah.
You know, and now he understands music. We have to tell our kids and show them the old school music and because they don't know, you know, you have to school them.
I've always said to myself, I can't be a lover of music and not at the very least appreciate music and all of its evolutions. You know what I mean? It's like, I think back to my uncles listening to what I was listening to as a kid going, that ain't real music, boy, you need to turn on some,
Did you
And-
really say that though? They had great music though. I never said
Yeah,
that.
no, I mean, I was, so if I was listening to NWA,
Right.
and my uncles is like old, so they was like, boy, that ain't music. What'd he say? Bitch, oh, no, you need to turn on some OJ, you need to turn on some this, turn on some that. And like, just like recently I found myself saying it to my kids, like, what the hell are y'all listening to?
Right.
Y'all need to listen to some,
But you got to school them though. You have to.
right.
Yeah.
And that's what my uncles was doing to me, because when I took the time to go back and listen to what they was talking about, it's like all of these other emotions and feelings that I wasn't getting from what I was listening to. And, you know, doing that for my kids and just watching their faces go, oh, that felt funny. I'm like, yeah, that's what music is supposed to do. It's supposed to make you feel something. If you're listening to some music and you don't feel anything, you're wasting your time in that moment. Music is supposed to feel like something.
Yeah.
Your favorite song is supposed to do something to you.
Yes.
know?
In your opinion, are we here to grow old with just one person? Do you feel that?
I'm not sure because if I've learned nothing in 43 years of life is that very few things stay one way.
Right.
You know what I mean? People
Right.
change, energies change.
You change, you grow.
Yeah, you
Your spouse
become
might
somebody
not.
else. The person that you might have loved this person as, you know, version 0.1 of yourself.
That's right.
But now you're version 0.5 of yourself, and this person is still at 0.1. And it's like, okay, you try, but at the end of the day, if I'm evolving and you're not,
You got to keep moving.
I got to keep moving.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, there's a person that'll say, well, what about helping that person evolve with you? No. That's your mistake, because you can't change nobody.
Right. They
You
have to
can't
want to change.
anybody. They have to
Agreed.
want to change. They have to do it for themselves and meet you where you're at. You can't stop
You
your
can't put
growth.
that pressure all on your shoulders either.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's not your responsibility.
That's heavy.
Whether you love this person or
And
not.
I've tried. And that's draining.
Listen.
It takes too much of you.
I confess to being a person that loves a bird with a broken wing. That's
Me
me.
too.
That's me.
Fixing people
I want to
and-
fix you. I
Me
want to take
too.
care of you. I want to
Me
make you
too.
better. And I have to tell myself constantly, this is not your job.
Right.
It is what you're trying to do is impossible. You
Right.
can't fix anybody. You can inspire, you
Right.
can suggest,
Right.
but you can't do it for them.
That's right.
And if you find yourself in a relationship where you feel like you're doing it for that person, you might need to reevaluate that relationship.
Yeah.
You know, that might mean you might need to part ways if this
Right, you're
person
more
is
like
not
a therapist than a
right.
relationship.
Like, yeah. And
Yeah.
I mean, in a relationship, you should be able to be that for each other when it's needed, but
But not
not
always
all
that.
the time.
Yeah.
Like, not
yeah.
you're not supposed to be this person's mama. You ain't supposed to be her daddy for real, bro.
Right.
Like,
Right. Where you
know?
at? What you doing? I don't like
Yeah,
relationships
that's a
like
lot.
that.
That's
yeah.
a whole lot.
I can't live that way. I didn't do that to my parents. I was like, oh no, you know,
Hey, I'll be
I'm
back.
not gonna do that right.
If something go wrong, I'll call you. But other than that, I'll
Right.
see you when I get back.
Exactly. Life is all about lessons and learning
Indeed.
from them. What did you learn about yourself after your divorce?
I learned, excuse me, I learned that I am a person that will suffer for the well-being of another person. I've learned that about myself. I've learned that as much as I believe in love, as much as I believe in, the concept of monogamy,
Right.
I don't know if it's for me, just because I'm a person that I tend to crave new energy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's hard for me to lock into one thing and stay locked into that one thing for a long period of time.
Could you be loyal?
I could.
Right.
I'm extremely, if I love you, I love you. And that's
Right.
just that.
Right.
It
Right.
ain't no, like, you could never say you love somebody and then you'll break up and you don't love them no more. Then you never
That's
loved them in the
true.
first place.
I
Because
agree.
love is not something you can just turn on and off like a light.
I agree.
The love might mutate into something else.
That's right.
I'm not in love with you anymore to the
Right.
point where I want to be with you forever. But my love for you, if it was ever there, it's still there. Like, I still love my ex-wife. I absolutely
Right.
do. I wish her the best in life. But as far as being in love, as far as, visualizing a future with this person, like, nah, that started to fade. And as opposed to being honest with myself and being honest with her about how I was feeling, I, try to stick it out for the kids, try to
Right.
stick it out and just,
been there.
go through the motions. And that, by the way, that never works.
No, I think
That
it makes
never works.
situations worse, and the kids do feel and see.
Your kids are not stupid.
Yeah.
Your kids
No
are
matter
not
how
stupid.
young they are.
Especially if they're young, they're more tuned into what they
Right.
feel than what they see anyway.
That's
So it's like
true.
you walk in and y'all ain't
That's
talking
true.
to each other, and you ain't arguing in front of the
Energy
kids.
is everything too.
But y'all ain't talking, and you think that they can't feel that heaviness in the room. They can
Yes.
feel. They can feel all of that. They can feel all of that. They might not be able to express it to you the way that they would like to, but trust and believe they can feel it. So yeah, the mistake I made was basically just not being honest with myself, not being honest with her about what I was feeling, about
Right.
where the relationship had gone for me. And yeah, I made some mistakes. Again, I own all my mistakes. I own everything that I did wrong in this relationship. It's not to say that all the mistakes were mine.
Right.
But
Of course
I own
not.
mine.
Of course not. It takes two.
I own mine.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
And but I feel like time heals all wounds,
Amen.
and me and Crystal we're in a good place now.
Thank God.
It took a minute because
Right, of course. It don't happen overnight.
yes,
Right.
of course. I hurt her. I did.
Right.
I own that. I accept that. I've said a billion apologies. In private. It was never for the world.
Right. It's not for.
That's not my thing. I'm not running to social media like, hey guys, guess what's going on with me? I'm not
Right.
doing that. If you've ever heard anything about me, you heard it from a third party.
Right.
Because I'm not, that ain't y'all business. Like, why would I discuss my love life with you? I don't even know you.
Right.
I don't know you. You don't know me.
That's right.
And yet you feel that you have the right to judge what's going on with me.
It
Like,
feels so personal because you're so famous, and they feel like they know you and your
Yeah.
music, and they just want so much from you.
and I get that. I understand that, but that don't mean I got
You got to
do
give.
that.
Right.
Like,
No,
you
I
can
get
want
it.
it all day long,
Right,
to the
right.
point where anybody that has anything to say about what's going on with me, you clock right in and you listen and you believe. And that's the
Yeah.
part. It's like, all right, I just hate where we live right now.
Yeah.
It's like there are people that'll get on the shade room or whatever and pass all of this judgment all whole time in the back of their mind, praying that don't nobody go digging in their backyard and dig up some of their bones.
Right.
Like, as if you have the right to judge anybody.
Exactly.
You wouldn't be mad because I got 3 baby mamas and you got 7 baby daddies. If you don't go argue with one of them dudes,
Right,
leave me the hell alone.
right,
Like, come on,
exactly.
you can't judge me.
Exactly. You can't.
Like, so
I
so
say
I
as
don't-
long as you're taking care of your kids and loving them, that's all that matters.
That's the part.
That's
the
all that
part.
matters.
I don't even concern myself with blog sites and any of
Me
that.
neither.
I'm
I
like,
don't read nothing about me either.
right.
What for?
For what?
Because that will trigger me. So I'd rather not.
Well, no, I don't even be. I'm not bothered by it anymore. Like I don't let it be.
Well, if you
part of
don't read
my
it, then you don't
day.
know. So who cares?
Yeah, even if I
Yeah.
do read it, I'm like, all right, but you
Their opinion doesn't
no
matter.
one there. Opinions are not special.
Right.
Everybody has one, which means
Yes.
it is not special. And to make anyone else's opinion more important than your own is stupid. Because again, everybody has one. Who says that yours is more important than mine? And mine is mine. So
Right.
I'm gonna rock
You
with
gotta
what
live
I
with
think.
it. Right.
To hell with what you think. I'm gonna rock with what I think. If it's an opinion, man, you do what you do. Do what you do.
So you and your ex-wife, Crystal Smith, have a chain of restaurants
Yes.
together called Johnny's Chicken and Waffles. What's the most difficult thing about working with an ex?
As of right now, nothing.
Okay, good.
Like it's kind of one of the things that has helped us heal a little bit, because it's like, okay, you know, in certain aspects we have to be in each other's presence, but we're not in each other's presence as a scorned ex, or you know, we're in each other's presence as business owners, and this is a business setting, and we're gonna keep this conversation business, you know, and find a way back to our friendship kind of through that.
It's beautiful.
You know, no, that's not to say that we haven't sat and discussed everything that happened, and
Well, that
you
needs
know,
to be said.
Yeah,
between
that
two,
has to happen. That definitely.
So you can
has to
heal.
happen. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But the concept of us having to be around each other because of this business is helping us to heal. Yeah, so it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Shout out to Crystal. Shout out to
shout
Johnny's
out.
Chicken and Waffles. If you're in Atlanta, check that thing out. We got 2 locations in Atlanta. We got a location in Arizona. We got one coming in Vegas. We got one coming in New York. Yeah, we're moving around. We're moving around. You know,
So
Crystal did the whole menu, by the way. All everything on the menu.
So she cooks. She can whip it up.
She do that. She do that.
That was my next
She's a
question.
chef.
Would you continue to open up other businesses with her?
Absolutely.
That's
I mean,
beautiful.
especially anything in regard to food, because she do that kitchen. She do that.
That's beautiful.
Yes, she's always had that.
So is that one of the things your next woman needs to know how to cook?
Listen,
Or do you cook?
I can't boil water. So,
What? Get
yeah,
out. No. You had
I'm
women
not-
around you and they didn't teach you how to cook?
No, because I ain't want to learn. I didn't care to learn. Again, I had women around me, so if I was
Right.
hungry,
They
somebody's gonna
did.
get in there and whip it
They
up.
whip it
They're
up.
like, let's not let him burn the house down. I'll do it.
Right.
You go sit your ass down. I mean, let me do this, because I'm not kitchen savvy at all. Like, not at all.
So you're on the road, you're always ordering.
I will make reservations like nobody's business. But if it's up to me,
Right.
yeah, we gonna eat out, or we just not gonna eat, because I can't do it. I don't have the patience to cook.
Okay.
It takes patience. Just like, I'm the cat that's gonna put the water on and then come back in 10 seconds like, it still ain't boiling, man. Forget this. I don't have the patience to wait. I don't.
Well, you can't do it all.
No. I'm aware of my
Right.
gifts, my talents, and my limitations.
Exactly.
Cooking, not so
As
much.
long as you're honest.
Driving,
Really?
I mean, I ain't killed nobody yet.
Thank God.
I've come close.
Jesus. He's so silly. So I hear you're going to be doing season 3 on BMF.
Yeah, man.
What kind of character will you be playing on the show?
Oh man, so I met 50 a long time ago, but I met him just recently at the Tycoon weekend thing that he did in Houston.
Yeah.
Met him there, and you know, we sat and chopped and talked about. I was doing a show for Stars called Step Up High Water, and I guess he had seen it, and he was like, he said something along the lines of, "Your talents are wasted on that show," and I'm like, "Well, they didn't pick it up for another season, so it is what it is." He was like, "Nah, we gonna find something to do." So
Oh, that's so dope.
he sent me on a couple auditions for a couple different things and mind you, I told him, I told the agents, I told everybody, I don't want nothing just because. Like, I
Right.
want to read for it. If they like me, give me the part. If you don't. I don't want no handout, because we've all seen how that could go.
Right.
No, nothing put me on your show acting ridiculous and then everybody talking crazy about me. No, we're not doing that. No. So I actually read for the role. So the character's name is Greenie. Greenie is a businessman. It's a nice way to say Greenie is a pimp.
Right. Oh.
And this particular character is one of the cats that was helping Meech clean his money when they first locked down in Atlanta. You know, you don't really know what to make of Greenie initially, I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, it's a role that I've never played before. And
Was it hard
I had a
transitioning
ball
into?
with it.
You
Not
loved
at
it.
all.
Good,
Nah.
good, good. Of course.
I had a ball with the role. Yes, it was a lot of fun.
I
It was
love
a lot
it.
of fun. Learned some things about myself through the role. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm trying
Right,
to get picked or nothing
right,
like that,
right, right.
but yeah, it was definitely a learning experience for me.
What type of advice did 50 give you preparing for this role? Or did he give you advice?
He didn't. No, he said there's a role coming up in BMF and I feel like you'd be perfect for it.
Okay.
And he never told me why he felt like I'd be perfect for it. He
Right.
just said, I feel like you'll kill this role. I'm like, all right. So he sent me the script. I read what it was, went in, did the reading, and
Boom.
the rest is history. Yeah.
What was the most challenging thing about learning how to act?
The most challenging thing about learning how to act was learning how to not act. Because the thing is, you don't want to act, you want to become.
That's right. That
You know,
person,
that
right.
like that's what I haven't had too many acting coaches, but they would always say, I don't want you to act sad. I want you to be sad. I want you to cry for real. Think about something that makes you cry. Put yourself somewhere in your past where the emotion was uncontrollable and you couldn't do nothing about it. Like that's where I need you to get. Because if you're acting sad, I can see through that. Most
Right.
people can see through that.
Yeah, you can.
You know what I mean? So that it's a lot easier said than done.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know, to it's like, all right, I have to become a pimp. Okay.
That character, right?
Okay, let me figure this out. I have family members that have dabbled in that world.
Right.
So, you know, I had people I could call and, you know, like,
Right.
you know,
Get some
tell me about
tips.
this. Tell me about that. You know, run me through this.
Right,
you know.
exactly.
But yeah, the hardest part of it is just learning how to not be that person that is trying to portray.
Right.
Like you have to like become. Like I have the utmost respect for method actors. I've never understood it because it's like a method actor is basically a person that locks into the role and stays that role until the
Whole
movie's
time,
done.
yes.
And I'm like, how the hell?
Yeah,
'Cause
that's...
so let me get this straight.
You
If I'm
kind of
playing,
lose yourself in that, though.
like if I'm playing a crackhead
Right.
and then the show is over and I go home and I go home to my kids as a crackhead. Is that how that works? I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm that dedicated to the craft. I don't know
Yeah,
if I can
no.
do that.
Me neither. Nothing's that serious.
Yeah, that might be a bit much.
Yeah.
But I have the utmost respect for a person that can do that can, you know, administer that level of dedication to something. That's dope. It's just not me.
Yeah, I don't think that's mentally.
I don't
that
feel like
can't
it's
be
safe.
good. Yeah, me neither.
Like I heard, I don't know this to be fact, but I heard that you remember Heath Ledger played
Yes.
the Joker, and it's iconic role. I don't know if anybody can do it after the way he did
Yeah,
it.
me too.
But they said that he was doing the Methodist technique.
Right, he was kind of
with
losing
that.
himself, right?
Yeah, like he would like lock himself in his trailer and force himself to watch the most foul and messed up shit and laugh at it, like to get into the mind of a sociopath. That's who the Joker was, a sociopath. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah.
Like because you do lose a little bit of yourself.
Yeah,
like
of course.
in this character, you trying to become this thing, and bits and pieces of that latch on you and stay. You know what I mean? And they say that's what killed him. Is playing that role.
I believe it.
I don't know if I.
Yeah, I would never take it that deep because
I genuinely feel like I feel like it takes more skill to become something, and then when they yell cut, get back to yourself.
Yeah, I
like
agree.
I almost feel like that takes more skill.
I agree. Have you ever met Big Meech?
No, never met him. Talked to him on the phone.
Okay.
I got to talk to him on the phone. I met Lil Meech, you know,
Right.
of course, for the show, and you know we sat and chopped for a long time. He's good dude. He had never done any acting before this. Like
Right.
50, I guess he was telling me that 50 took him on the auditions for that role and was watching everybody do it, and 50 just wasn't pleased with nothing that he saw. And he was like, man, for all this, I'll just get you some acting classes and let you do it. And he was like, okay. So
Right.
50, sure enough, put him in acting classes for about a few months, and then
Boom.
yeah, there it was. Yeah, but no, I never got to meet Big Meech. You know, I've met, you know, some of his crew before. You know, me and G's got real cool. But yeah, no, I never got the opportunity to meet him. The stories.
I've met him, and a lot of
Yeah.
stories are true.
Yeah, man, like these
Because they were in
cats
Miami
was
all the
doing
time.
different. It was
Yeah,
something
they're doing
else.
a little too much. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the billboards was a bit much.
Yeah,
It's
the
like,
billboards,
come on,
buying
guys.
out the whole hotel. And
Right.
all the
like
cars and giving people keys to the cars. And
we're still drug dealers at the end of the day, guys.
garbage bags full of money. Like it didn't, yeah.
Let's calm it down.
Right.
Somebody's watching. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Now. You got a giraffe at your birthday. Somebody's watching, bro. Like,
right.
But yeah, I can imagine it was a time to be alive.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
Yeah. We all know the love of your hats.
Indeed.
Would you ever consider starting your own hat brand?
You know what? I tried.
Really?
I tried to start a hat brand. I was working with a very prestigious, very old hat making company who did not so much understand the concept of, okay, so here was the thing. They were manufacturing the hats.
Okay.
You know, I started the line, gave it a name, the whole thing. And they didn't grasp the concept of I am the product. I am the promotion of the product.
That's right.
Okay. Everywhere I go, I need my hats.
Right.
So it's like, we'll hit them and be like, yo, send me 30 hats. And they're like, 30 hats for what? Because I'm on tour.
Right.
And people need to see, like, I'm walking red carpets with somebody else's hat on. Like, come on, man, what's going on? So it wasn't a good fit.
Right.
You know,
with that particular person.
It's not to say that I won't try it again.
Good.
Because, I mean, this has been my trademark for damn near 20 years. I definitely want to do it, but it's got to be done the right way.
Right. But a little bit of everything, because I love your fedoras, all that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing wrong with my head. No buckles, no dents. Well, I mean, maybe a dent or two, but it's just, I just like hats, y'all. Leave me alone.
So who was the girl that got kicked off the stage for taking off your hat? I had to.
Oh, no, it's fine.
It's a sensitive thing when people touch you. You know, I get it.
Listen, I have no problem. You a fan, run up on me, give me a hug. I don't care about none of that. That's not a problem. But anyone that knows me, any true Neo fan knows that the last thing you do, if I allow you to grace my stage, is touch my damn hat. You're supposed to know before you get up there. That's not, listen, you run up, kiss me in the mouth. All right, hey, calm down. But I'll take that before I take you touching my hat. Right. This girl literally got up there. She was already doing too much before we even started anything. Because the whole thing, okay, we called girls up for this particular song, a song called Pushback. We called girls up to dance with me on stage. Okay. So she got up on, so I say, all right, so what I need is 3 young ladies from out there to come up here and show me that you know what to do when I jump behind that thing. All right, so they come up. So she jumped up. I go, what's your name? Where you from? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, baby, push back. And then we dance. Right. So she jumped on stage, and before I could say anything, she just bust out dancing. I'm like, all right.
She was extra excited.
Come here. Okay, hey, what's your name? Like she was just doing too much from the jump. Right. So I'm like, all right, she ready. Let's go. Push back. She dancing. She's not dancing on me. She walked out on the stage dancing for the crowd. Seen. Right. And then grabbed my hat, put it on her head, and I'm like, all right, yeah. Clearly, she's not a Neo fan. You know you ain't supposed to touch my hat, and she had to get the boot. That's what it is. So funny, but you did it very classy. I didn't kick her for real.
I know.
Y'all. I didn't really. That would be assault, and I could go to jail. I didn't actually kick the girl. Yeah, you gotta finish.
Oh my God,
it wasn't an actual kick, but yeah, she had to go.
That's too funny.
She had to go. But mind you, I don't know who she is.
You want to see it? You want to see it?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh my God, that's too hilarious.
Get the fuck out of here, ladies and gents. Yes.
Oh my God, so classic.
Let this be a lesson.
It's a meme now.
Okay? Because again, I got a tour coming up.
Right.
I'm gonna be in your city, all right? Pushback comes on and I call you to the stage. Act like a true Neo fan. Don't touch my hat.
Hat is
Don't
off limits.
touch my hat. Everything else, rock out, all right? I'll work with you. Do not touch my hat. Thank you. Because she'd have felt the way if I snatched her wig off, right?
Oh, hell yeah. That would have been fire.
Consider this my wig, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly.
You don't want me to touch your wig, don't touch my hat. We good.
Right, exactly. They just posted you on Shade Room holding hands with 2 women. Mm-hmm. Is it hard for someone of your stature to find privacy when trying to date?
It only becomes a problem when you allow it to become a problem. For example, I don't give a damn. Good. I don't care what y'all think.
That's right.
I don't care who y'all think is cute. I don't care if you think I'm cute. I don't give a damn about y'all's. I feel like the father on the clumps. You really think I be listening to you? I don't be listening to you. Go and watch that movie and find that scene and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. People's opinion just don't mean nothing to me no more. And it might have something to do with the fact that I'm 43 now, and it's like, feel what you want to feel, think what you want to think. Yes, I was walking down the streets of Miami holding the hands of two beautiful women, and I'd do it again.
Right,
And if the shade room want to talk about it, all right, talk about it. Cool. Listen, why are you talking about me? I got a tour coming up.
Right.
And I'm being sitting near you. Come on up. Shit, the two I was with might be there. Damn it, pull up.
I mean, I would rather you have holding hands with two women than two men.
Thank you.
Mean, hello.
That would be a story, right?
Right. No, they would
was
probably
wrong,
give you
child.
props and you coming out and it'd be, you know what I'm saying? They'll glorify it. But you holding two women, it's a negative thing.
I just feel like whenever I see myself on a blog site, I'll be feeling like, all right, it must be a slow news week.
Right.
Because y'all,
Right.
this like half the time it don't even be nothing to really talk about. It's
Right.
like, okay, I was in Miami with girls.
Right.
Who wasn't in Miami with girls? It was rolling out weekend. Everybody was in Miami with girls.
Literally.
Why is it a story that, listen, I'm not
Because
complaining.
you're you.
I'm not complaining. Talk about me as much as y'all want to. Because again, all publicity is good publicity. I'll take it. But for me to be bothered by it, for me to be concerned with it, when I need privacy, I know where to go.
Right.
I know where to go. I know what to do. I know who to deal with.
That's
I'm
right.
good. So hey, y'all have that. We good.
So how can you tell if a woman are there for you or they're not there for you?
everything.
Yeah.
Shit, you kind of can't. You can't.
You can't, you don't know the tricks
Listen,
or there's no red flags, there's no
there was a
feeling?
point in time where I could kind of calculate who was what. Now
getting too
they've
good.
gotten good. They've gotten real good to the point where I don't even concern myself with it no more. It's like, listen, we here, we doing what we do. Be slick, mama. Be real slick. Because if I ever figure out that you're not here for the right reason, all right, well, now I got to wash my hands. But
Right.
until that happens, I'm going to enjoy your company and let you enjoy mine. And that's just what it's going to be.
But I think
Until
sometimes
mess
you
up.
let them talk and then they tell on themselves. I think most people tell on themselves. Yeah.
When they get comfortable enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make you real comfortable because
Right,
it ain't nothing to me. Yeah, we're gonna be real comfortable, and then you gonna reveal your true colors, and we gonna either continue this comfort or you gonna go on your merry way. One of the two.
Let's talk about sex.
Let's go.
It's hard to bring up Neo and not bring up sex.
Okay.
In the past, you've been accused of being a sex addict. Would you say you're an info?
No, and I'll say that because I happen to know some nymphos.
Right. Me
And
too.
it's kind of extreme. It's like
Right.
these are people to where it's like, all right,
They have to have it.
you want to go have sex or you want a sandwich, and they're probably gonna go have sex. That's not me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna eat.
Right.
I'm gonna eat.
In between.
And maybe after I eat, if you still down, we rock in. But right now I'm gonna eat. No, it's not the most important thing, but I mean
It's important.
It sits up there with the important stuff. It does. It does.
You're so funny. How would someone know if they're addicted to sex, though?
I think when sex becomes more important than, sustenance. When sex becomes more important than handling your business,
Amen.
Getting your bills
Right.
paid and all of that. When sex becomes more important than doing the things that you need to do,
Right.
that's when you should probably talk to somebody about you potentially having a problem.
Amen.
Yeah. And I can honestly say that sex has never gotten to that point with me. My bills are gonna be paid. I'm definitely gonna eat. And then once that's all done, let's rock.
Let's go play.
Let's go play. Yeah.
So you have 7 kids, 5 boys, 2 girls.
Yes.
What is it like being a single dad now on the road?
I can honestly say it doesn't even really feel like I'm a single dad because I have a very good relationship with the mothers of my children.
Right.
It takes a village. Everybody
Amen.
understands that I am probably the one that's home the least of everybody, and everybody gets it. They know, even my kids, they know if they see the suitcases rolling out, all right, daddy about to go to work. And if we want, V-Bucks and
Right.
Robux and Sonic the
XYZ,
Hedgehog and all of this,
right.
then
Daddy's the breadwinner.
Daddy got to go rock, and he'll be back. And when he come back, he gonna come back with all the gifts and the toys and all of that stuff because that's just what it is.
Right.
So the mothers of my children, they help out a lot. My mom helps out a lot. My sister helps out a lot.
Beautiful.
I have a beautiful team of people helping me raise these kids, bring these kids up the right way. And one thing that we don't do is the mothers of my children don't talk bad about me to my kids. And I don't talk bad about them to my kids because at the end of the day, once the blogs have moved on and that ain't a story no more, we still got to raise these kids together
That's right.
into adulthood. I'm a part of your life for at least the next 18.
Amen.
And then even after that,
That's
because,
right.
you know, they don't stop at 18. That's just what the courts say. No, I'm a part of your life. So you're never going to see me talking bad about any of the mothers of my children. Because again, once y'all don't care no more,
Right.
once the story is past, we still got to raise kids together.
That's right.
We still have to be a part of each other's life. So
And you don't want your kids viewing her through your eyes or,
Not
you
at
know, her
all.
through.
Well, I do want them to view them through my eyes. I want my kids to look at the mothers of my children the way I look at the mothers of my children, with respect.
Okay, so that's good.
You will respect them. You know, that's your mama, or that's, you know, we say that's your extra mom. You know, because all the kids rock with each other and baby mamas rock with the kids, and you know, like it's a village.
It's
a
beautiful.
village. And
So everybody
everybody's
gets
good.
along.
Yeah, I mean that's best we can.
Right,
you know.
right.
I am a baby daddy and they are a baby mama, so we have our dramas. We do. We human beings. But for the most part, at the end of the day, everyone is on the same page in it being about the kids.
Amen.
And their well-being and their mental state and their emotional state, and making sure that that's always in a positive place.
Right, and that's first. That's priority.
That's priority, yeah.
How do your kids react to having a famous dad? Because each kid reacts differently, right?
So my
Observe the
older
distance?
kids don't like it as much anymore.
Really?
Now, mind you, when they were young, they would run up on strangers and go, "Hey, you know my dad is Neo. He's over there. Hi, Dad. Hey, leave the nice man alone. Come on, let's keep moving." My younger kids still get a kick out of it, but my older kids are like we'll be somewhere and somebody come up and ask for a picture, and my daughter will make a face.
Right, she's over it.
she's
Yeah.
She's over it. Her and my oldest son. But like everybody else from 6 on down, they love it.
Yeah, they're so little.
They run up on strangers regularly.
What's the toughest part about being a parent these days?
Toughest part of being a parent, towing the line between being a friend and being a dad.
Yes.
Like I gotta take this moment to give the utmost props to my mother, because she did a bang up job with that. Like my mom, when I was growing up, I could talk to my mom about anything, be it sex, drugs, whatever the hell. I could go to my mom with it, and she's gonna give me solid and sound advice. It's not gonna be judgmental. It's not gonna be weird. Like she was so good at that.
Oh, that's amazing. Most
And
people
then
can't do that.
Right, but then at
Yeah.
the same time, mom was
Right,
mom. You know what I mean?
right. She
It's
put her
like,
foot
yeah,
down.
I'm we cool. I'm your friend, but don't treat me like one of your little friends.
Exactly.
Right? She perfectly told that line. And as I'm, slowly but surely moving into teenagers, my daughter is 12. She'll be 13 this year. And I'm like, just really trying to find the balance between, being enough of a friend to where when she's approached with something like that, she comes to me
Right.
versus, being that dad that she feel like she got to hide stuff from because she don't want to get in trouble. It's like
Right.
there's a fine line.
It is.
there.
And you want her to call you.
Yeah,
if
I
she's
need
drinking,
that.
If right,
I need
she
that.
feels in trouble. I agree.
Yeah, and we talk about it a lot. I'm like, listen, I don't ever want you to feel like there's never anything that you can't talk to me about. I don't care what it is, who it is, what it's about. If you can't talk to nobody else, you can talk to dad.
Yeah, that's so important.
Yeah.
Quavo was recently on a yacht here in Miami, and the captain was reported held at gunpoint.
Sheesh, man.
Yeah. Does hearing stories like this make you want to stay at home?
To be honest, if I'm not on the road, I'm probably at home. I don't really
right.
be outside too much no more, man. Again, I'm 43.
That's not old. I'm 44.
I mean, no, I'm not saying that that's old.
But you've
I'm
done
saying,
everything.
I'm
Right,
good.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, I know
It
what you
ain't
mean.
nothing happening in the club that I ain't seen
yeah.
before. Nothing happening in the
Club thing
strip
is
club I
open,
ain't
yeah.
seen before. You know what I'm saying? It's like I know I'm not missing anything.
Right.
So like, I'll indulge every
But
now and then.
he's on a yacht, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, that the thing.
It's like a strip club nowadays, right? Right.
Pretty much. Well, I mean, it's the world is getting weird. It's getting weirder by the day. You know what I mean? And you just gotta be mindful of that.
That's right.
That's not to say that you stop living your life.
Right.
Like,
You just got to be on your toes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Head on a swivel at all times.
That's right.
It's weird out here in these streets. People weird.
Why do you think our entertainers are constantly getting robbed and sometimes killed?
Good question. So I can honestly say, well, let me find some wood to knock on or something.
I just heard that when you knock on wood, you're like calling demons and
Summoning
stuff.
a demon
I
or something?
swear to
I heard
God, I
that
just
too.
read that.
I'm like,
Is that
listen,
true? Because
I've been knocking
they
on wood my
they've
whole
been
life.
lying to us our whole life about everything.
No demon ever
Don't
ran
be
up
doing
on me
that
like,
right
hey,
now.
You call my name, bro? That has never happened. So I don't.
No, I'm just saying. I just read that because I read a lot.
No, I saw that too, and I'm like, really?
I was like, where's so many
So where the demons at? Because I've been knocking on wood forever.
Me too.
Where the
That's
demons
like
at?
an old thing.
I ain't never been
When you
approached.
did that, I was like, oh no, we don't want to summons nobody here today.
Anyway,
I'm just kidding.
I have never been robbed, and I thank I thank the grace of God for that. I thank my people for that. It's never happened to me. But also, I'm not super flashy.
Right.
Let me wear 1 million pounds of jewelry everywhere I go, and then talk crazy when I'm not in my city. I'm not that dude either.
Right.
I don't attract that energy.
That's right.
Because I don't give off that energy.
Right.
And I feel like, I'm not saying that, you work hard for your money, you work hard for the spoils, and you should be able to enjoy it. But if you're walking into a lion's den, maybe don't wear the meat jacket, bruh. Like,
Right.
you're gonna attract lions. It's really just,
That's
it's really
right.
kind of just that simple. Like,
And show how much money you're carrying. Like that. I think that's
like,
very.
why would you?
Yeah.
That's basically asking someone. That's basically
right.
you're issuing a challenge.
That's
like, yeah,
right.
you see it, come get me.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
You think somebody
They're
ain't gonna-
taunting them,
like,
right.
come on, you think somebody ain't gonna run up like this? It's common sense at this point. Or if you're gonna be that guy, take some of that money and spend it on security.
Oh, right, exactly.
Get some cats behind you and in front of you to make sure that anybody running up don't get what they coming for. If that's the dude that you're gonna be.
That's right.
Not blaming
Right,
Quavo
that
for
they
what
supposed
happened
to
or
get
anything
robbed,
like
right,
that.
no.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying this is the world we live in.
That's right. And you
It's not unrealistic for these things to happen. And if you don't want them to happen, you should take some precautions. That's all.
And I just think our world is at a desperate times. So many homeless.
man.
A lot of people.
We're in a
losing their
recession
job.
right now.
Right,
People,
exactly.
Like, it ain't like major breaking news like it was when it happened back then. But yeah, inflation, everything is crazy expensive
So
now.
you flashing. I mean, you're
Right.
easy to get got. Like, you
flashing
in my
in front of-
town.
You
Right.
flashing in front of cats that's hungry.
That's right.
Like, these dudes out here hungry. It's not what it was.
No,
all right?
definitely.
Please know and understand.
Back
You're a
in the
target,
day,
bruh.
everybody was eating. Now,
Indeed.
everybody's not eating.
It's not the thing now.
Not even streets. So you grew up in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Vegas is known for its casinos and boxing fights.
Mm-hmm.
But Vegas is also known for another huge moment in hip hop history. It was where Tupac was shot.
Yeah.
Do you remember where you were the night Tupac was shot?
I was actually not in Vegas when that happened. I was living in California by then. But yeah, I vaguely remember.
He was young.
I was real young.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing about it, and I was always a Pac fan, but it kind of, I remember hearing about it and feeling like it didn't feel real.
Right.
Like this feels like a tabloid story. This don't feel real. And then the following day, you listen to the radio and they playing all Pac's music. And
Right, then
Rest
you
in peace,
know.
Pac. I'm like, yo, wow, he's really gone. That sucks. That's crazy. But yeah, Vegas is not known for its crime, really. It's
Well, they
not-
don't exploit it if it
Well, yeah,
happens.
that's
A lot of things are going on,
It's
uncalled.
definitely it's Sin City. Come on, it's definitely some stuff
Right,
going on,
right.
but you don't really hear about it. So
Right.
like when that happened, I think a lot of people was just shocked that it was really in Vegas, like because Vegas is not like a super duper dangerous place to be. Not really. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like most of the stuff that is illegal is legal in Vegas.
Right,
You know
right,
what I'm saying?
right,
So it's not
right.
really that. So when that happened, it was definitely like. Okay, so they was gunning for him.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
nobody
he was
gets
a
killed in
target.
Vegas. That doesn't happen.
For sure.
Yeah.
Why do you think people loved him so much?
Because he was a pastor. He was good for a word, good for a sermon. He was an amazing storyteller. His passion alone could carry him. Like you might not even need to know what he's saying.
Right.
Just the way that he would say it and the all of the energy and passion that he would put into what he was saying. It was contagious.
That's
It's like
right.
you couldn't listen to it and not throw up West Side and you from
Right,
you from New
right,
Jersey
right.
or
You
something.
from
It's
New
like,
York,
wait, what
right?
the hell am I doing? Wait a minute.
But he's originally from New York. but
He is.
Yeah.
But he went out there and repped the West.
That's
and
right.
But yeah,
Which I
he was like a ghetto minister. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? He
right.
was talking about what was happening in the hood and things that you wasn't going to get it broadcast on the news. Well, not in a positive way anyway.
Right.
So he was one of our ghetto newscasters. Like
Right.
this is what's happening in the hood today, and you locked into it.
Right,
Yeah.
storyteller. Well, while in Vegas, you attended an academy
Las
and
Vegas Academy of Theater, Performing, and Visual Arts.
an R&B group called Envy.
Yeah, man. So, I'll get into that. I went to this high school. It was kind of like, okay, did you ever see the movie Fame? Like that old movie Fame?
Of course.
That's kind of what this high school was.
Okay.
Like you had your reading, writing, arithmetic, and all of that, but the last hour of your day was based on your major. So there was choir, the singers, there was the dancers, ballet, from ballet to tap to modern, all of that. There was the tech guys who like work with lights and microphones and all of that.
Awesome.
Then there were the visual artists. I was a visual artist because at this time I was too shy to sing. Because you had to audition to get into this school.
Okay.
And I was not about to sit in front of some person and sing to them and then tell me I wasn't good enough to get in school.
Right.
But I could always draw and paint and all of that. So
Oh,
I did that
really?
instead.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. I've been doing that as long as I've been singing. So I went in for that, right? So every year the school would throw like this big talent show. They called it the pop concert. And the pop concert was a big deal to everybody in the school except the art majors because we had nothing to do. They didn't need us for nothing. So
Right.
we would kind of like just make fun of how serious everybody was taking pop concert. Like literally kids in the cafeteria crying at lunch. Like, they can't get this stuff and it's not gonna go right. It was like, you're not getting signed. It's not happening.
Right.
It's a high school concert. Relax. But anyway, so one year.
But that's passion, though.
Oh, no, definitely. I realize it now.
Yeah.
But in the moment, we was like the grassy knoll kids. Mind you, I didn't smoke weed, but by looking at me in that time, you'd have thought I smoked weed because I was wearing jeans with paint on them and proud of the paint on my jeans because I made a masterpiece. You don't just fuck the
do you
jeans. Look at
still
what I
paint?
did. I haven't in a while. I don't have time anymore.
Right.
It's like when I'm at home with 7 kids.
Right.
I'll sit down with them and try to do something, but
Does any of them have your
Sonic the
talent?
Hedgehog or something like that. Oh yeah, they all draw, they all sing, they all sit around and make up songs, make up dances. It's nerve-wracking.
That's amazing.
I'm proud of it. I love to see it, but after a while it's like, shut up! Shut up! Thank you. And then they start right back.
Right, of course. They're not
what
going to
they do.
listen.
But so one year, me and my friends from the art department, we decided that we were going to find a way to just really just kind of take the piss out of this whole pop concert thing. So we drew straws. I drew the short straw. Plan was find a way to get put on this talent show, get up on stage, moon the crowd, run off.
No.
That was the plan, right?
Okay.
So I pulled the short straw. So at this point, I went and talked to the choir major. She was like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, I'll sing. She was like, oh, you can sing? Mm-hmm. So I sang Boyz II Men, End of the Road for her. And she was like, why are you not in my class? I was like, because I'm not a singer. She was like, yeah, you are. But okay, never mind. You on. I'm like, cool. So I go back to my guys. All right, I made it. I'm in. Like, you in? What'd you do? Don't worry about it. I'm in. All right, cool. All right, so day of the concert. I'm like, all right, we all know what we're going to do. Mind you, my friends are standing backstage because when I do it, they're going to run out. We all do it and then run off.
Right.
So they call my name and I see the crowd go, who the hell is this? Because again, nobody knew that I could sing or do anything like that.
Right.
I was the little nigga with the braids that'll draw you a picture for $20. That's who I was, right? So I walk out on the stage, the music starts, and I shit you not, as soon as the music started, everybody was gone. Like, they were still there, but
Right.
everybody was gone. I was on that stage by myself, and I just closed my eyes and sang the song. Sang the whole song. Song ended, no applause. What the hell is that? It was one of those moments, right?
Right. They were in awe. They couldn't believe it.
Because
Yeah.
again, this was my 11th grade year of going to this school. So for 3 years prior,
They had no clue.
they've seen me, but they don't know that I can do anything like this. So after that, it's like girls who wouldn't have spit in my face if my eyebrows was on fire. It's all of a sudden like, hi, Schaefer. I'm like, hey, talking to me?
That singing does something to the
Wait
ladies.
a minute. All this extra
Right.
attention.
Right.
Maybe I should take the paint off my jeans now. Wait a minute. So it was after that a buddy of mine approached me like, hey, me and some guys are forming a singing group. I want to know if you want to be a part of it. And I'm like, yeah, sure. I just figured it'd be some cool shit to do after school or whatever. But we kind of tried to move with it. Like we was doing talent shows around Vegas, you know what I'm saying? Winning some of them, losing some of them, whatever the case may be. But that was kind of when I started kind of taking the music thing serious.
Right.
Because before then, I would write a song in my little red notebook, sing it back to myself. Okay, gratification, slide it under my bed and go on by my day. Like it wasn't for my friends, it wasn't for that.
Right.
You know,
It was for yourself.
But once this happened, it's like, okay, let me get this straight. So I can do what I love and somebody will pay me for it. Oh shit, sign me up.
Right.
So from there, you know, we like I said, moved around Vegas doing talent shows or whatever. We did Showtime at the Apollo. Oh God.
Oh, get out.
God. Yeah, I don't know why I'm telling on myself right now, but you can find this on YouTube if you want to. Me and Envy, we we did amateur night on Showtime at the Apollo. Now we didn't get booed off stage.
Okay.
We got close. We got
Why?
close.
What happened?
Okay, so I'll try to shorten this story.
Okay.
So Corey Clark was a member of the group, and he was kind of our lightweight manager because he was the one that would always find ways to get us in different stuff. So he was like, yo, I reached out to Showtime at the Apollo. They said that we could come down and do amateur night. I was like, all right, cool. So we get there. We thinking that we can perform to our tape. We had a taped instrumental of Donnell Jones, Players in the Hood. This is from the Players in the Hood. Remember that record?
Yes, I
So
do.
we got there, and what we didn't know is that every other act had showed up 2 days prior to rehearse with the band. Because if you're a singer, you have to do it with the band.
Mm-hmm.
So we got there the day of the show, handed them the tape, and they're like, what y'all want us to do with this? I'm like, well, this is our music. They're like, no, y'all got to use the band. Like,
Yeah, you need practice for that.
we don't have no time to rehearse with the band. Like, we'll make sure that they know the song. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Like, oh, shit. All right. So Steve Harvey was the host. We come out there. We talked to Steve Harvey for a minute. We walk out on stage to start the song. They start playing the song before we even get to our microphones. We had like a whole setup and all of this. Didn't get to do none of that. So they started the song. So we run out on stage, and at this point, everybody's nervous as hell now because it's like, oh wait, we didn't get the setup with the choreography. Oh shit. So I think my voice was the first one to come out, and it sounded like somebody stepped on a cat's tail because I was so nervous.
Right.
Ooh, it was bad. So luckily, we was young and kind of cute, so the girls in the audience kept us alive. But, ooh, man, that's probably the most booze I've ever heard.
And you guys were
in my
young. You were
life.
still in high school.
We was fresh out of high school. We just graduated high school. And yeah, it was a lot of booze. And we just knew we was gonna get booed off the stage. But we got through the whole song. And afterwards, we went backstage and just kind of everybody looked around at each other and everybody just started crying at the same time. Like we was crushed. Because we just knew this is our moment. Somebody gonna see this, we gonna get signed, we gonna make it. No. There was a horrible. You can find it when you get.
I'm definitely
look it
good
up on
because I haven't
YouTube.
seen that.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. It was very, very embarrassing. But
We all have
we
those.
all start
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah.
And I've been back to the Apollo as Neo, so I'm good. I've redeemed myself.
Most people in this business get jaded after being in this industry as long as you have.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever felt like I'm over it and I don't want to sing anymore? You ever had
Yes.
those moments?
Yes, absolutely. I came into this business under the impression that the person that worked the hardest and had the best song got the spoils, got the awards, got the recognition, the album, the magazine covers and all of that. And I was quickly corrected. Like, that's not how it works.
No.
That's not how it works. No, you can buy them awards. You can buy
That's
them the
right.
magazine covers.
You can buy that star on the floor.
Yeah, all of
A lot
that.
of people
It's
don't know that.
It's not because you did so well, they just give it to you. Nah, you can buy it.
That's
You can-
right.
and even if you deserve it, if this person is willing to pay for it, they'll get it. And that kind of crushed me. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I'm really thinking that, okay, if I just get in here and give it my all and just make sure I'm putting out the best possible music, it's gotta come to me, right?
That's right.
No.
Right.
No, because Chris Brown's younger and cuter. Or no, because this person spent this for this. Or no, because
That manager or that label CEO.
this red tape and this person know this person and they buddy. And that's why it's just all these different behind closed doors things that happen in the business that you're not aware of in the beginning. And yeah, it's like, in the Wizard of Oz where they pull the curtain back and it's a little man it's not the big, it's this little dude over here controlling the whole thing. Like when they pulled the curtain back, I was dumbfounded. Like this is not what I signed up for.
Yeah, I had a lot of those moments too.
Man. And then it's like, okay, so first album came out, did very, very well. Second album time, and everybody's talking sophomore jinx, and now it's like there was no pressure the first album. We literally just had fun the whole time we was doing that album. Second album, I'm getting gray hair. I'm like, stressed out. Because they're like, all right, first one did 370, the second one got to do at least double that. Oh, we got to get the rhythmic record, we got to get the all format record. I'm like, what the hell does all format even mean? I don't even know what that is. I'm just in here making songs. So yeah, it was a few moments like that. I had to really step away for a second and like refine my love for this. It's like, I never got into this to be famous. I didn't get into this for money. I got into this because somebody told me I could do what I love. I could do what I was going to be doing anyway and actually support myself doing it.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, well, yeah, that sounds like the job for me. I tried everything else. I worked every fast food that you can think of.
Really?
Yes.
Name
one.
one.
All them jobs. McDonald's, Burger King, Pizza Hut, got fired from all of them. Yep.
Why?
Primarily for giving away free food to my friends.
He's so funny.
Hey, what's up, punk? Yeah, go ahead, you got that. Mm-hmm. Manager standing right there. Like, he wasn't gonna pay for it. Here you go.
Oh.
Yeah, we got it.
I probably would have given free food too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never worked at a fast food restaurant.
Oh, I did all that. I worked enough 9-to-5s to realize that the 9-to-5 life wasn't for me.
Yeah, 9-to-5 not for me either.
No thanks. No thanks.
It's not. I mean, for everybody, it's okay.
Hey,
we
listen,
need y'all.
Rock out.
We need y'all.
Do what you got to do so that you can later on do what you want to do. But
Amen.
yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, closing segment. I want insightful. So whatever comes to mind when I ask you these questions. Okay.
Copy that. Okay.
What would you do differently if you knew nobody would judge you?
Absolutely nothing. I feel like everything that has happened to me, good, bad, or indifferent, led me to where I am right now. And right now, I am ridiculously happy. And if I were to go back and change anything, who's to say that I'd make it back to this moment?
Amen.
So, nothing.
What is the most sensible thing you ever heard someone say?
The most sensible thing I ever heard someone say, do your best not to sweat the small stuff. And in the grand scheme of it all, it's kind of all small stuff.
It is.
My mom told me that a long time ago. And it took me a long time to realize what the hell it meant. Like this is not small, Ma.
Right.
She's not calling.
Right.
I called her. She didn't pick up the phone, man. It's not small.
Silly. What gets you excited about life?
The concept of who my children are going to be. I think about that all the time. It's like I look at them now as, as kids, and I try to envision who they're going to be as adults, what kind of adults they're going to be, based off of their personalities now. I know of my 5 boys, I got about 2 thugs. Got to figure that out because they're and they're the smallest ones. The babies, and they're just little gangsters. Roman and Braden are little gangsters.
I have a Braden too.
Really?
My little one's Braden. He's 11.
Man.
Yeah.
I have a 2-year-old Braden. Roman is 5 now. And just mean to guys. He's super flirt, with any women. But with guys, is very much a...
That's funny. I love it.
Like he just unbothered. And then I got my lover boys, my oldest boy and the one right behind him. They're who I was when I was that age. They not really into sports a whole lot. They would rather draw a picture or write a song or something like that. And it's like I gotta pull the tough down a little bit on these ones.
Right.
And raise the tough up a little bit on these ones. So that, when they get into that mode, I don't gotta go to jail and bail somebody out.
That's the same thing. Mm-hmm. What life lessons did you learn the hard way?
Everybody's not your friend. Everybody's not happy for you. You know what I'm saying? So, be real cautious and careful about where you are when you shouting about what's going on with you, the good things happening in your life, because there are literally people out there that will hear about the good things happening in your life and find ways to mess that up for you. Find ways to just put some negative energy on that out of jealousy or whatever the case may be. I learned the hard way that there are people on the face of this planet that don't like you just because.
Right.
They don't have a reason. They don't need a reason. They just don't like you, and you cannot let that bother you.
Yeah.
It's not your job to be liked by everybody.
That's right.
If everybody likes you, you lying somewhere.
Right.
Because that's just that's not how life
Yeah,
works.
you can't please everybody.
You cannot please everybody. And the more you try, the harder it gets. It's not something that you can do.
Is it possible to lie without saying a word?
Yes. 80% of language, period, is not verbal.
Like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been lied to with eyes.
With just
before.
eyes, right,
Like,
right.
ooh, she feeling me. No, she's not. She's not feeling you at all. But she gonna make you think she is so that you pay for this meal.
You're so funny. Is it more important to love or be loved?
It is more important to love. It is more important to love. I just recently had somebody tell me they love me, and I had to stop them because I'm like, okay, I need you to think about this. Do you love me because you want me to love you back? Like, if I don't say I love you back right now, do you still love me? And they're like, well, I mean, honestly, it'd be nice if you'd say it too. And I'm like, but what if I don't feel it?
Right.
What if I don't love you? Right. Does that mean that you don't love me now? And she's like, well, yeah. And I'm like, well, then you don't love me.
Love it.
Because if you love me, it ain't got nothing to do with whether or not I love you. You are saying that you have love for me in your heart.
That's right.
And if that's what that is, then it don't matter what I feel. It don't matter if I feel it or not. So I feel like a lot of people don't even realize what real love actually is. Real love is unconditional.
That's
real
right.
love says, I love you regardless of whatever.
That's right.
I love you if you don't
Good,
love me.
bad, or indifferent.
I love you if you hate me.
That's right.
I love you because I love you, because I have love in my heart for you. And that's an important thing.
And that's
Important
super
thing.
rare.
Yeah. And the reality is, most of the world is not gonna love you. Most of the world
No,
don't give a damn. They're not gonna give a damn. However, in order for you to raise your own personal vibration, love is the key, and it will always be. Do something for somebody other than yourself.
Amen.
You know.
If you had an opportunity to get a message across to a large group of people, what would your message be?
Love, period, point blank. Love is the key to everything. Raise your vibration, okay? Stop functioning from your root chakra. That's the lowest one, literally.
Right.
I am is the lowest chakra. You want to open up all 7. You want to get to your crown chakra, okay? That's where heaven is. Hell is your heel. Heaven is here, okay?
Amen.
Raise your vibration. And the only way to do that is through love and gratitude. These things are like air and water. You need them.
Yeah.
You need them. That's it.
Amen. 3 more. What impact do you want to leave on the world?
I've actually been asked this question before, and I didn't really like the answer that I gave before. So I gave it some more thought. The question was, how do you want to be remembered? What do you want to be remembered for?
Okay.
And to be honest, all I've ever really cared about is, writing these songs, delivering some quality music, entertainment to the world, telling a story that touched somebody in some way. I stopped concerning myself with awards and award shows and all that stuff a long time ago. Cat ran up on me and told me that he didn't commit suicide because my song came on the radio.
Wow.
He was about to do it, and my song came on, and he was like, I really like this song. And he just sat there and listened to the song and decided not to kill himself. It was a meet and greet. I'll never forget, this was a meet and greet, and he walked up, and I'm looking at him, I'm like, there's no way this dude is a Neo fan.
Right.
He didn't look like a Neo fan.
Right.
And he's like, bro, I don't need a picture, I don't need a CD, I got it already. I just need to let you know you stopped me from killing myself. Thank you. He gave me a hug and he walked off. And in that moment, I realized the importance, the power of music.
That's right.
Like, the right song can change a belief,
Yes.
can change a thought, can change an idea, can change a life.
Right.
The right song. And that's, once you view music from there, it's like all of it starts to not be as shiny anymore.
That's
It
right.
starts to not matter as much anymore. I give a damn if I ever get invited to another award show. I don't need it.
Right.
I don't need it. Because I know behind the scenes there's somebody pulling strings back there. This
That's right.
ain't genuine. This ain't authentic. I'm good.
Okay, last
I'm
one.
saving lives with my music. I'm all right.
Amen. What is the most defining moment of your life this far?
Defining moment of my life this far. I gotta say the birth of my kids, man. Like that had changes you.
It
Because
does.
I was there. I saw it happen. Like all of my children have been C-section, except for one. My
Really?
my youngest son was a vaginal birth. And he was actually the first vaginal birth I ever saw. It was crazy. But that, I will say, I've never grasped the concept of a man that doesn't care for his kids or a man that could abandon his kids, because the second I laid eyes on my kids, it was like, I will die, kill, steal, whatever.
Live
to make
for.
sure that you're okay.
Amen.
Right? And it's like it sticks to you. It forces you to hustle harder.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It's like, all right, we in London for 3 days. You can stay at 4th if you want to, or you can go home. I didn't think that I'm going home.
That's right.
I'm going home. I'm going home to my kids. I need to recharge. It's like they have become my recharge to get back out into the world and do what I got to do to bring back to them what they need.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
what amazing.
that's where I'm at.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having
I
me.
love you.
I love you back.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for watching Gloria Velez podcast. I'm your host, Gloria Velez.
Peace and love.